Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Spiritual Psychic TV this evening. I'm Clara, I'll be your host this evening, along with the lovely Richard. And for you of those that don't know me, I've been a working medium for 27 years. I'm a mentor, teacher, and I just love to get out there, put my students out there, and teach people not just the mediumship, but the part of how do we do it, the science behind mediumship, and also how our brain works as well, because it's not just this airy fairy, let's talk to spirits. There's science behind it as well, but it's lovely to hear you all tonight. See you all on a Friday evening, and how are we all doing this evening? Richard, who do we have tonight? Yeah, and say hi. There's comments.
Hi everybody. Clara said to me, if I don't come on, she's going to see me and punch me and rip my arms off and do all sorts if I don't come on. She didn't really. So she just asked if I'd come on, so I said yes, of course I could. So good evening, everybody. But I'm not here all night. I'm just here to support Clara. Clara, can I tell everybody some good news?
Of course you can, Richard, the voice.
Everybody, Clara will be joining SBTV as a part of the family very soon.
Thank you.
Yeah. But if she's no good, then we get rid of her.
Yeah, yes. So please, everyone, send a love heart, say hi. Our Claire's going to stay in the bin.
So you'll be doing some readings tonight, some mediumship, maybe some tarot card oracle card readings. We're going to be using the SBTV Divine Pack.
Yep.
So what we're going to ask everybody, if you can choose between number 36 to 78, that's going to be the life pack of the section, out of the 78 cards. So yeah, and I will say hi to everybody. I'm going to let Clara take over because obviously it is her show. I don't want to hog it all evening because I do like a good waffle. So yeah, over to you, Clara. Tell us where you're from, everybody.
Thank you so much, Richard. I mean, it's not all about Richard, is it, everybody? Okay. Now, so thank you. And so, yeah, I'm going to be doing some live readings because let's face it, we all love a reading, no matter whether it be mediumship or psychic, we all love a reading. And there's Christine Davis. Hi, Christine. Now, I'm sure I met you, was it last week in Zoom? And you just lit up the room. So thank you for that warm, friendly face. Hi, Wendy. How are you this evening? Okay, and here's hopefully I'll get a link for you. But what I'm going to be doing, guys, is I will be doing the oracle cards and I'll be doing the light cards. Hi, Terry. How are you? Lovely to see you. And there's Mr. Payne, the one and only Neil Payne, coming down. Oh, Neil's fabulous. He is fabulous, and you will get a good giggle. Don't tell the secrets, Neil. Okay, and like I say, so we'll do the oracle cards, light cards. They are limited. There's a limited number available now, peeps, because they are out for order. You can pre-order them. Limited number now. And I know I'm going to be using them with some of my students. So, hi, Wimbledon, 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 Wimbledon here. I love that. Hi. Hi, Sarah. Okay, so like I say, I'll do some of the cards this evening, guys. Hi, Mel. And limited available cards. I'm hoping to be using them with some of my students, and we'll start the journey together with the cards because these are high stakes. These are fantastic cards for beginners as well because they're so visual, and I'll get a chance to show you experimental readings with them this evening. Neil, we will make you laugh. Okay, do you want me to tell everybody what happened to Neil? Okay. Hi, Sam, and hi all the way to Australia. I hope the weather's lovely over there, just like it is here. Knots. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you this evening? Okay, and I hope we're all settled this evening. Hi, Pamela. Hi, my darling. Yep. Hi, Pamela. Richard said hi as well, my little sweetie. I'm your favourite mentor, not Richard, darling. It's not all about him. Okay. Um, so yeah, here's hoping everybody's relaxed this evening as well, because we do. Hi Deb, we do know what a Friday night's like. Either we're getting the kids to bed, the kids out the door, and we're trying to rush about and just trying to chill, sort of thing. So it'd be nice to put the feet up, relax, and enjoy the evening, the night. And they're singing lessons. Neil will be the singer on Monday, and hi, Karen. Oh, lovely to see you too. And I hope I do please you with seeing me work tonight. No pressure. Now you put me in the spot. Okay, so lovely to see you. Hi, Jasmine. How are you? Ontario. I can never say that. New Zealand. It's a place I've never been to, and I'd love to go. In case you have to tell me all about it. Hi, Nikki. How are you, darling? Hi, Dave. How are you? Good to see you this evening. Dave done his first live last night with me, not live, probably, but first reading. Hi, Joanne. How are you? Good to see you too. Okay, goodness, I'm getting so excited now. I feel more relaxed now. I'm getting so excited. Hi, Carrie Ann. How are you? Hi, Richard. Hi, Kayla. How are you, my darling? Good to see you too. Hi, Rosie Rose. Hi, Hazel. Found out that's my real cousin just through Zoom. Yep, a few weeks ago. Hi, Anessa. All the way from the USA. Good for you. Go you. Sometimes I wish we were there at the moment because we're in darkness now with our weather. Okay. Hi, Krish Pilley. How are you? And hi, Claire Smart. Good to see you this evening. Okay, so if we want to get some numbers, Richard, between 36 and 78, then I'll go ahead and let's do a reading, if you're good.
Right, everybody. So what we're going to be doing this evening, like we usually do, is that you choose a number between 36 and 78, and that is the life pack of the SBTV Divine Oracle deck, which is available to purchase. And what Clara is going to do, I'm going to turn off the comments so she can't see them, and then I'm going to ask Clara if she can give me a number between 1 and 20. I see your comments in batches of 20, so Facebook and YouTube are combined. So in the comments, you may see like you may be first, but on my chat system, you may be sixth. Okay, so that's how it works. So Clara, if you can give me a number between 1 and 40, I can see who commented. And let's say you pick number 36. Whoever commented on number 36 is the person that will be given a reading. I hope that makes sense to everybody. So that's how we always work on SBTV. So it's completely random. So there's no favoritism there whatsoever.
Thank you so much for that, and
Okay.
thanks for explaining that as well, because I was getting even a bit lost here. Everybody knows Clara. Okay,
I know
so
what I mean. That's fine. That's all that matters.
I know that's it. Richard the voice, here we go. Right, it's like being in the Matrix, guys. At times, I love this, the way it goes. Right, so you're looking for a number between 1 and 20. Okay, I'm going to go for 18, Richard. Okay, lovely to meet you, Jacqueline. Okay, Jacqueline. Ah, right, okay. Lovely to meet you, Jacqueline Mercer. Jacqueline, are you here tonight? Jacqueline Mercer, give us a quick hi. And we will have, okay, and this is a live card tonight in life. Okay, right, Jacqueline, I'm just waiting and I'm going to start reading your card for you. Okay, Jacqueline, now when I look at this card, as we see the word business now, it's something I tend not to look at too much, would be the names to begin with, because then I would get into my head. When I do look at this card, I do know straight away when I'm looking round about here, I had to put this head on at one point. I know when I look at this card and I look at the suits and the card, you had to take on the role of business within the family. Would this make sense? Because when I have the angels at the back and I look at this man, and funny enough, I want to say feminine, okay? So I want to say that could be a lady dressed in a suit that had to take on the role of what I would say the businessman in the business world. Okay, I do look at the high cheekbones here and the beautiful eyes, and I want to say I do feel as if I have my mum in spirit world here, or mother-in-law. Okay, now if you just give me a quick yes if you can, Jacqueline, that'll help, and I can start flowing with the reading. Okay, I do also want to say as well when I'm looking at the card now, I feel there was a lot of paperwork dealt with round about a passing, if this would make sense, and where you had to take that role on. Thank you. I do want to say as well that I feel when I'm looking at one of the wings here now, I see a few little holes in the wings. You maybe see leaves, you maybe see gold. I see a little hole in that wing, so I do feel there was paperwork not correctly done. Okay, thank you, Jacqueline, for that. And I do want to say as well, not everyone was there that should have been there to help. Would that make sense? I do want to say as well, there was something missing. Okay, so everything should have came together within the paperwork, but not everything was there when I look at that hole in the wing. I do also want to say there were sparks flying. Okay, so no, we're trying to make everything good as possible, but I do know there were slight ruptures within the family dealing with everything round about the funeral. Because when I look at those, the beautiful gold coloured, but to me, I'm even thinking Guy Fawkes here, and I'm looking at all the sparks that fly about there. I do want to say when your mother-in-law comes in, this lady was a lady that could say it how it was, because again, I'm looking at the sparks round about the angel here and all the angel wings. And I do know as well, when I have this lady here, do you know what? She was such a kind soul, but I do feel as well she did say it how it was within the family at times. I do feel she didn't get her place, but I also feel you didn't always get your place. Would that make sense, Jacqueline? And I do want to say, when you didn't get your place, I do want to say, would there be, would you have a sister-in-law? Because I feel there's other females round about this, and I want to say pretty dominant females stepping in and out. Okay, I do want to say as well, when I look at the bottom of the card here, I'm looking at, what I want to say is, did your mother-in-law have a sore leg? Now, I know we say we don't ask questions, but if I'm actually saying, would you understand that? That's a question in itself. So that debunks that straight out the window. But I do want to say, I'm looking at her feet here. When I look down the very bottom of the card, and I'm looking at, I want to say a sore leg, a sore foot. I want to say as well, when I look at one of the wings is clipped. So I know as well, my body gave up, my body became soft, and my muscles weren't working the same. Okay, my darling. I do know as well, when I'm actually what we call blending in with her, I do actually feel what I start to feel her emotions coming through. Okay, and yeah, we're not blending soup here, but I'm blending in with your mother-in-law. I do actually, funny enough, when I've just said soup, there was a chat of, I'm going to miss her soup, but I don't feel she was the best at making soup. Okay, now I do know this lady as well. Yes, she did have a bad leg. Thanks very much for validating that. I do know as well, I do see the bandage on the leg when I look at the beautiful, how can I say confetti when I look at everything running down there? So I'm going to come back to confetti in a moment. So I do know as well the leg was bandaged at one point, and I feel there was a cut within that leg, because when I look at those little, I say confetti streamers, there's a red tinge in those, so that would show me slight blood. Okay, I do know there was a lot of blood taken from it. Yeah, lol. Thanks very much, Jacqueline. Goodness, I didn't know how to word that, because do you know what? See these cards here? I love them because there's so much you can take out of one card. You can actually tell someone's life story. And this is why I love these for beginners as well. They're so visual. Now, I do want to say as well, when I look at this as well, would there be grandchildren about as well? Because I feel my head is exploding with grandchildren. Okay, and I don't mean that I don't mean that in a bad way, but I want to say it's wow, wow, wow. Everything's so bouncy, everything's so sparky. It's like, wow, where do we go with these children? Okay, I do want to say as well, and I'm going back to the business part here, and I know there was something about songs getting played at our funeral. And I even know there was a slight difference with that. I do see the name David roundabout, and I would put David would be a link roundabout on I would say would be living. I don't like saying the earth plane because I find that quite dinosauric in this day and age. But I do know he would be living. I want to look round about the neighbours. And when I also look at that business link, it's funny, I just had a conversation earlier with Richard. I'm actually looking at a school teacher there as well. So I feel mother-in-law and someone else has came across with this sort of school teacher look. I'm a school teacher and I'll tell everybody what to do. Whether they were the school teacher, but I think in their head they thought they were. Okay. I do want to say as well, when I do have your mother-in-law here, now she's quite a comedian as well, because I do see the Scottish links here. Ah, thank you very much, David Woodware's son. Thank you. And I do see the Scottish links coming in here. I do see as well, funny enough, I'm looking at this I'm in fire when I look at the angels. So I know I've got the Bruce Springs. Can I say that, Richard? I know they were related to Bruce Springsteen because I've just actually seen the song I'm in Fire and hear it when I look at all the colours in that card. Okay, and I want to link back to Edinburgh at one point. I'm not saying we went to Murrayfield, but I do know we would have loved to have went there and somebody wanted to go and see Bruce singing. And I want to link this to her as well. Ah, right, thank you. Now she was such a kind soul. She didn't leave a lot behind, she tells me. And this is where we had the slight rupture with the family. And I feel it was more like material things, if that would make sense to you, Jacqueline. And I do know as well, do you know what, such a poorly soul towards the end. But I do want to say thank you to you because you stepped in and you took a role. You helped, but you had to take the silent part as well in the background. Because when I'm looking in the background of the cards as well, I can actually see behind. I want to say this is a unisex card, okay? Because I would say in one hand with the beautiful cheekbones, there's a lady, and I want to look at Audrey Hepburn in one point, so I'm going to give the name Audrey coming in here. And I also want to say I've got the male look about as well. And I know as well you didn't get your place, but you sat like a shining light in the background. Okay. And your mother in law wants to say thank you so much for being there for me. Thank you so much for doing everything you could do. You actually at one point tried to come in and help me with my hair, but you didn't get your place everywhere. Okay, and I want to send healing. She wants to send healing to someone here who would be round about you as well. And I feel that would be mum as well, because I know there's thoughts going out to everyone and thoughts going out to your mum as well, if this would make sense. Okay, but this card's about bringing family together. When I look at this card, it's about the business of family. Okay, and this is also, when I look at this, it's bringing our family together, Jacqueline. And I know you've tried your hardest when you've done this, but I know it doesn't always work out. Would this make sense to you? Because I see the link Fiona comes in here as well, and I feel a very dominant female family is stepping round about. Okay, you can only do what you can, my darling, but businesses, keep the family together, get the business in order that you have to look at now, because this was a lesson learned, if this would make sense, my darling. Not the nicest lesson, but sometimes paradoxically, it's cruel to be kind with what happens in life. Okay, sweetheart, but it's the best thing in a way that's happened to you, because now you can look at everything and you can look at what's going on in your own life. Okay, for the wedding that's coming up, I feel it's more been an engagement ring showing. We say we don't predict, but we really do actually, especially when we're working the psychic, because that's what it's all about. Okay, but I do want to say, oh, there we go, family, EastEnders. I hope you have, well, I bet you're one of them that watches the soaps. Okay, so I do want to put that ring in place or that full commitment in place. Okay, my darling, so you know that mother-in-law's there and you keep going strong what you can do because you're quite a pillar of salt and you keep going, my darling, okay? So you take the love and I hope you do take the love for your mother-in-law, sweetheart. Thank you. Okay, so thanks very much, Richard, for that one. Okay. And that was lovely doing that reading. And Jacqueline, I hope that was okay for you. And I hope that's gave you some sort of upliftment. And that little bit of humour as well comes in when we're reading, because bear in mind, we're living, we're not over the other side, and they certainly don't want us to get through what they went through. So I hope that gave you that little bit of upliftment and just that little bit of what you needed to hear tonight. What about 10? Oh, right, okay, my favourite, number 33. Okay, right, guys, we're just getting our next person just now. Hi, Tina Mills, lovely to see you. Tina, you've given us number 14. Could I ask you to give us another number, please? Between 36 and 78, my darling. I'm so sorry, but I need another number. Richard, I nearly choked in my tea. Right. Tina, between 36 and 78, sweetheart. Any more? 44. Anyone, and I'll be shouting, bingo! Family. Okay. Right, Tina. Okay, if you make yourself comfortable, and I'll get ready and I'll start reading this card and we go straight into family when I look at this card. Now, straight away when I look at this card, Tina, okay, I'm looking at the staff again. If you look at the mum with her two children, now I've just stereotypically said mum here. That could be the primary caregiver, it could be aunt, it could be grandmother. I don't know, but I'm saying mum here. Okay. Now I look at the staff in front of that card, so I want to say this woman's emotions are slightly balanced, okay? And I want to say that would be you. Okay. Now when I look at this as well, I want to say as much as you're emotionally balanced, I feel sometimes you do have to feel another balance. And I feel you're sort of balancing everything in life at the moment. I want to look at job, I want to look at career, I actually want to look at finances as well. Would that make sense, my sweetheart? Now, I do want to say as well, would you have children at the moment? Now, it's something I wouldn't normally ask, but I am looking at the children and I am thinking of children here. Okay, and they're very prominent in my head. I do want to say as well, okay, when I look at the card, I do want to take myself in a different career direction, okay? And I want to provide. Okay, would that make sense to you, sweet? If you can just try and type as fast as you can, right? Okay, now just keep getting in there. Okay, thank you. And are you okay? Because I want to look at taking everything in a different direction. And I don't even mean the cost of living crisis because everyone would go through it, but we can't see everyone else going through it, if that would make sense. Now, I do look at the backbone here in this lady, and she gives a visage, a beautiful, beautiful face she has. Okay, I love her eyebrows, by the way. I love those eyebrows. But I do want to say as well, you would look like that at times. Yes, we all wear a mask, and that's very generic, but at times you do have to wear a mask more than what you want to. Okay, and I do feel this is in front of the children. Okay, I do see the hidden tears behind the children, but then when the children come in, it's like I have to be mum again. Okay, I do want to say as well, when I look at this card, you're fighting to keep everyone together. All right, because when I look at the angel wings here, if you look, both of them are not actually parallel. Okay, one slightly out from the other. Okay, so I know where it's sink or swim at times. And when I say sink or swim, that's behind the lady in her family, because that reminds me of mermaid pools. So when I look at the mermaid pool, I'm actually just above water, if that would make sense. Now, I do want to say, ah, there you go, okay. Well, I want your mum's eyebrows as well, Tina. Okay, now with your right mum, I would say you're American then. Right, okay, and you are worn out. But I do want to say as well, this is where you're going to have to then say, let's balance things. As I said at the beginning, you are a good balancer, but you're still trying to balance out some more in your life. Okay, I do want to say as well, when I'm balancing things out, I do want to then dip into the mermaid pool. And the mermaid pool behind is the water. There's behind the lady and her children. They are just beautiful. Okay, what I want to say, a mermaid would also dip herself in the pool for energy. That's okay, that's all right, darling. Can you hear me all right? Okay, right, okay. I do want to say as well, though, that when I'm balancing everything out, I know as well when you said your mum had beautiful eyebrows, I do feel as well it's something that you would follow in that trait. Because when I look at the two children here, I want to have the same looks, I want to have the same skin, and I just want to be like my mum. All right. I do know as well when I look at the hand supporting here, I know mum was the main one in the family. As most often we do hear mums are the ones that hold families together, but that's quite a sweeping statement. It's not always the case. But I do feel mum held everything together. I do want to say as well when I look at the flowers here on that dress, I still want to put flowers out for mum, would make sense. And I do know we have a love of flowers. Okay. Are you still there, Tina? Do I still have you, darling? Okay. And I do want to say as well, okay, would you understand as well when you've just written English up there, would you understand you're looking at other qualifications at the moment? Okay, because when I take the English and I look at the hand in that card, I want to put myself round about something else with my career. Okay, now I'm working quite psychically at the moment. Okay, my darling. Okay, thank you very much for that. But I know you do want to be like your mum. Yes, thanks for validating that. And yes, you love flowers. But I know you want to set flowers for your mum because I'm drawn to that as well. I do want to say as well, though, you would be looking at some further education when I look at the hand here. And I know your mother would have pushed you, but she would have also said, do what you love, not just for money. Mum was just happy for you to do what you loved no matter what. And it didn't always have to be about money. Okay. Mum tells me as well, she did when I look at the necklace now, and I do springboard back to bit. Right, okay, you're a bit of a cross path where I'm unsure. Right, okay, if you're quite happy, then I'll open up that cross path, okay? And this is where we'll go back to education then before I can springboard back to your mum over to the spirit world and other worlds. Now, when you're at this crossroads, I do know you're looking at, again, I'm going to get back to education with you. And I want to look at education, but I do want to look at working with children, okay? I do know you have your own children as you validated, but I do want to know is, can I be some sort of caregiver? Can I help look after children now where I don't have to travel so much? I do want to say I want to look at moving home, but I feel at the moment we're looking at finances. Can we do that out with the area we are in? Because we want to change schools as well. Okay, I do want to be round about community, and I feel you're at this moment in time where it's better the devil you know. Okay, because when I look at even the cards here, the swirling down the bottom of the rocks, those are rocks to me down the bottom, and this is where I need to carefully tread on the rocks. Okay, what I would say to you is, you used to work with children, okay. And I feel this is still, again, where you could look at working with children again, but on your own terms. Okay. I feel this is going to be the pattern of the night tonight. If teachers work with children, caregivers, but I do want to say as well, I'm looking at health and safety around about the home. So this is where I want, it's as if are you thinking, could you work with children in your own home this time? Would it be like what we call in the UK private childcare, nannies, these kind of things? I do think you want to move, but move completely in your own home environment, move to a different home. I'm not so sure that's the right move, but again, you have free will in that one, Tina. And that's where I want to say, look at the logistics. I don't want to look at everything with my heart. I want to look at things with my head, if that would make sense to you. Because I feel at the moment, when you've worked with children, when you've worked in the environment, I look at sports children, I look at everything here, I feel it became too much for you. And I feel that's where I had to be careful of my mental health. I had to be careful juggling children. I know you help look after your mum. It just became too much. Okay, my darling. So you look at everything that's not always in your heart. Look at things that are in our head, because as humans, okay, so you've not really thought about that, but that is another opening that shows up, okay? But, there's your opening, okay? Now, I do know as well, would you have done paperwork? Because funny, now you've wrote but, dot, I want to look at typing, I want to look at paperwork, but I do want to look at, could I do admin? That would be another opening for you. But I really want to say, just look at everything logistically for you, Tina. Don't jump in with your heart, jump in with your head. And as humans, we tend to jump first. Okay, darling? Okay, right, that would make sense. So what I want to say is humans, we tend to work off our emotions at times. You'll hear people working with a knee-jerk reaction, coming in with whether it be anger, whether it be fear. Take time back, sit back and think, write down your pros and cons, and then see exactly. And that'll start showing to you what you need to do. Because when I look at these two children, that's what's keeping you going at the moment. Okay, darling. Yeah, that's fine if it's not an admin. That's totally fine. But you would understand what that means to you. Okay, my darling. But when you look at the children round about here, this is where you want to balance yourself now and balance you, your time as a mom, and also balance life. Okay, darling. So do what you have to do. Okay, but never let someone else tell you the path you should be walking. Okay, and don't let someone else tell you, but you're a mum. Okay, you're still a human being at the end of the day that has to be validated in how you feel. Okay, so I hope that was okay for you, Tina, and I hope you enjoyed that. Okay, so you look after yourself, know your mum's with you, and know your mum would be proud of you today, because mum always said, family, do what you want, no matter what the job is, as long as you're happy in your heart. Okay, my darling. Right, that would make sense. So that makes sense why we're having to look at everything logistically now. Okay. One day at a time, Tina. One day at a time. Okay. Right, guys. So thanks very much for that. And could someone give me a number between 36 and 78? And let's see where we go with the next reading. And I will have number 39. Stacey from YouTube. Hi, Stacey. Number 42. When I say they love hearts, you could just burst into song, couldn't you? It reminds me of the sound of music. Destiny. See, I could burst into song, Destiny's Child. Okay. Now, when I look at Destiny, Stacey, and it's funny, I do work a lot with music as well. I hear a lot of music when I'm working mediumistically as well. And I keep hearing the song, I'm a survivor, I'm a survivor. And when I look at that card, that tells me you have been through the mills. Okay, now I know a lot of humans, as humans, we do go through a lot of life journeys, and we do think, right, okay, how can we take a learning from this life journey? But I do want to say as well, you feel as if you've been through too much. Okay, when I look at that card as well, there you go, see, me too. When I do look at that card as well, I do want to say as well, you are quite a welcoming lady. All right. And I do want to say you're the sort of person that would just welcome everyone, because when her arms are outstretched, that beautiful angel are outstretched, I do want to say you don't judge a soul. Okay. What you do say is you make your own bed, you would lie in it, but you also don't judge a soul. Okay. I do want to say when I look at that card as well, again, when I look at all the angels in these life cards tonight, we're all looking at the spine, the backbone, okay? And I do feel as well when I have this here, would you understand as well, I'm going to the left here and I'm looking at the left side of the card, would you understand dad or father-in-law in spirit world? Okay, I may be wrong here because I don't feel 100% on this one, but I still feel I've got a sort of fatherly link and maybe even stepfather coming in. Okay, I do want to say as well when I have this man, right, I know the man would be gentle, I know the man had a smile that could light up a room, because that draws me to the sun on the card. All right, now, thank you. I do want to say as well, when I look at this card as well, I do want to say as well, you are quite the same. Now, you have a smile that would light up a room, because I'm looking at a mirror image here of everything. Okay, thank you. Now, I don't normally change that blood hierarchy, so can you give me a moment to see where I've got this other link? Okay. Just give me a moment, because did grandfather help then? Because I tell my students never change a link. But I do know this man helped play the fatherly role as well. Okay, so if you can give me a quick yeah or no there. And I know the man lit up the room. I do know as well I have a John link there, and that's just to validate who I'm working with here. I do want to say as well, right, okay, would this man have, how can I say, I light up the room, but I still didn't get too involved in family business. Okay, I do want to say as well, I had a beautiful smile, but the smile at times I didn't always show my teeth. Okay, I do want to say as well, this man was quite straight backed. I know he was. I know he was also a character when he was outdoors. All right. I do know when I look at this card as well, he had stomach issues, because when I look at the clouds down here, I want to say I had stomach issues as well. And I know we're not conventional doctors, but Stacey, I know you would have stomach issues as well. I know as well when I look at this card as well. Thank you. And I do know as well, you're looking at things as well. And when I look at the steps here on the card, I do know you're looking at taking different things. Thank you. Funny enough, John Wayne. John Wayne was a quiet man. All right. I also do know when I look at the steps behind, this is where I want to say this man, thank you. This man as well, he would have took steps very wisely in life. Okay, he would not have told everyone his business. And I also know as well he would have taught the family, take steps very carefully. Okay, he would say, sit back, watch before you make that knee-jerk reaction. I do know as well he did have a knee problem, okay, because I know my mobility is slowing down here and I can't get up all those steps. All right, darling. I do know as well he would have read books, because when I look at these steps, that's actually books to me as well, because I'm binding books. I've got a steps for books here. But I'm also going to bring that to you, because I want you to start. It's as if you're taking your steps in different parts of life. Do I read books? Do I read books for self-education, if this would make sense, Stacey? When I look at the stomach issues, I do know you get back and forth to the doctors at times, and it's a case of stick to your GP's advice. Yes, you would have healing in other ways, but remember, we are human beings. We live in a mortal body. If we weren't human, we would all be more immortal. And it says we go back to the days of Socrates. Everyone has been looking for how can we be immortal? And I know it's things you would look at as well. I know you look at all different things, because this card as well shows me destiny. And again, we're back to you being a survivor, Stacey. But you've chose to be a survivor, if that would make sense. And I do know you can tell your story. You tell your story to people of how you've came about in life. Would that make sense? I do know as well you want to work and tell more people how you've come in life. And I do know you want to do a lot of more education. But to me, it's more about reading books. It's more about then saying, I can read a book, I can learn a lot more from a book than listen to what people tell me. Okay, darling, I do want to say, when I look at this, continue with that journey, because the world is your oyster when I see the hands open. Okay. I do know as well, when I look at the gold in this card, again, that's what took me to the stomach issues. But I do want to say there's times you wouldn't take care of yourself either. Okay. Now, as humans, we are prone to doing that. We're prone to ignoring advice. Okay. Somebody would say black, we'll say white. But then again, we'll go back to black. Okay. And it's funny when I say black and white here, I do want to say go back to black. Okay. So that would give me the name Amy and Amy Winehouse. And I want to get down south here. All right. So I know I have a down south link. I'm not sure where she lived, but I do know I go down London areas as well. It's funny, I've just heard Hackney in my head there. Okay, I'm not saying you live in Hackney, but I want to get around about there as well with work and looking at books again. Are you quite cultural, Stacey? Because I want to look at different cultures round about you. And again, I take that from the card, because when I look at the sun, but when I look at the woods all round about the sun, okay, and how we're holding up, and how can I say the angel? She's in like a portrait view. Okay, so the wood would be her portrait. Okay, that's her frame. So that's where I want to say as well. That's the kind of things you'd look at as well. Culture. Okay, I'm going to take a quick sip of water because I'm getting very dry. I'm sorry. Right, thank you. You have family in London. Okay, but I do want to keep you in the book link. And your grandfather, now I'm going to springboard with using these cards from the psychic back to the medium link. And I want to say your grandfather would have read books as well. I do know as well, grandfather, he's the sort of man that would have read a book, but he would have put the book down because he didn't like to show everyone his business. Okay, I do know as well, when he read a book, he would hide it. It's quite funny. He was such a private man at times. I do know he had an interest in nature, because I've just seen a horse in front of me. I'm not sure if he had horses, so I'm not going to say he did have horses, but I do know I had an interest in nature at times as well. And again, I look at horses, I look at robins, and I feel he could have sat and just dwindled his time away, okay, towards the end of his life. I feel as well he just sat and watched everyone as time went by, but he was quite happy in his own little world. And I do want to say he went into his own little world at one point. And it's funny, I do feel as well with him, he did get sore eyes towards the end, because it's funny for Halloween now, who all didn't get involved in Halloween at one point? I had my little mask on at one point, and that's where that takes me to your grandfather. So I know his eyes gave way a bit. Okay, but I know this man was such a lovely, wise man. I don't feel we all knew him in the family for when he passed over. Okay, And I do know I want to, funny, he's just shown me Frank Spencer here. And I'm looking at the comedian Frank Spencer. So I know this man was a bit of a comedian at times. I do know at times I'm not so sure he could fix everything and put everything together, because I'm feeling everything went together and everything fell apart. But he did try his best, okay, my darling. But I do want to come back psychically to you, because I know the reading's about you as well and what you're looking at in life. Okay, so you go ahead, you start reading your books, take your knowledge from books, because what I'll say to people out there is, and any lecturer, any teacher will tell you out there, you also have to do your independent research. I love Frank Spencer, so did I. So did I. Bit of Norman wisdom in there as well, Stacey. Okay, but I feel the name Frank would be pretty prominent as well, and I know someone shopped in Marks and Spencer's. Can I say that, Richard? Thank you. Okay, so I know someone shopped there as well, because I've actually just started looking at cherry bakewell cakes. Love them. Okay, now I do know as well, quickly when I come back to you, Stacey, read your books, because any lecturer, anyone in schools or anything, and I do believe you're pretty educated as well, independent research is always the best. Okay, you're a critical thinker. Keep being a critical thinker, because it's we tell children to ask questions. Okay, darling. So keep going, take your new journey, and you start teaching people as well. Okay, my darling. Okay, so I hope that was okay for you, sweetheart. Okay, thank you. Right, I'm going to have to take a drink. I'm getting really dry now. Okay, peeps, right. Thanks very much for putting up with me. And thanks for letting me read for you lovely guys tonight. We're going to have a 2-minute break if that's okay. Okay, and then we'll be back to you ASAP.
The SPTV Divine Guidance Oracle Pack, a unique blend of inspiration and artistic beauty. Our captivating set of 78 cards combines the power of ancient archetypes, celestial guidance, and the essence of life itself to provide you with a unique tool for self-discovery, clarity, and transformation, all lovingly housed within an exclusive rigid box. The pack includes a booklet that delves into every card in detail, some of which carry dual meanings for deeper interpretation. The booklet also features 8 distinctive card spread layouts. Among these treasures, you'll discover 22 major arcana, 9 main archangels, 4 elements, and 40 life cards, each a work of art, radiating beauty and delivering profound messages that resonate deeply within your being. The SPTV Divine Guidance Pack, where beauty meets enlightenment. Pre-order today and unlock the extraordinary wisdom that awaits you. To be among the pioneers in experiencing our forthcoming collection and to reserve your pack in advance, as well as to access more details, including a sample audio description, kindly visit sptv.uk/cards.
Join us at the Bognor Regis Spiritualist Centre for a captivating mediumship demonstration on Saturday the 11th November from 7:30 p.m. Experience an evening of connection with the spiritual realms, featuring the talents of Bill Hughes, David Hale, and Caroline Johnson. For more information and to book tickets, please visit bognorspiritualistcentre.co.uk.
Tomorrow night from 8 p.m, SPTV is joined by another guest who will be demonstrating their mediumship abilities by offering free readings to our viewers.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Spiritual Psychics TV, and thank you so much for you guys that have been here, and thank you to anyone and welcome to anyone that's joining us now live. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to do some other quick readings for you, and we're going to use the light cards, the oracle cards. As I said, limited numbers for any of you people that don't know. There's only limited numbers available in these cards, because most of us are actually snapping them up and pre-ordering them for our students. And we're going to be taking the journey together. all using the new cards out there. So Richard I'm just going to go right into the readings now. I hope you guys don't mind. Geez, I'm not getting a minute now. So if Richard, you can give me a number. Well, I can give you, sorry. Okay. Can I have a number, say, let's say 21? Hello, Tatwig. Oh, I said Tat. Sorry, Tat. I didn't hear properly. We'll blame Richard for that. That's the voice. Right, okay. Right, okay. Right, so Pat Twig, thanks very much for coming on, and I'll be doing your reading, and your card's going to come up in a minute. Okay, the card would be knowledge. Okay, so I don't know how you feel about knowledge at the moment, but straight away when I look at that card, I do want to say, when I'm looking at that card, it's like, wow, you've just went knowledge. Oh, here we go, let's roll the eyes time. Okay, I do know when I have this card, when I look at the man sitting here, handsome looking man again, I want to say straight away, I am looking at the head here. Okay, and I look at the light that comes down in the head. I'm sticking on the psychic a moment, Pat, just in case you're wondering where I'm going. I want to say as well, when I look at this, I'm looking at boundaries in life at the moment, if this would make sense to you. And I do want to say, you're looking at people should have their boundaries round about you. Okay, I do want to say as well, when I look at the card, I want to say, would you understand as well? I have again a father and spirit world, and I want to put it on the father link, father-in-law link, because I feel this is very dominant male that comes in round about this card. If you just give me a quick yes or no, and I'll carry on reading. If no, say I'm wrong, and then I'll get my next communicator for you. Okay, now I do want to say as well, would you understand when I'm reading this card now, when I look at the blue, that blue does come in as a male round about me. I do want to say as well, when I have the male, I was a male that had, I'm looking at those eyes in the card, so I was quite strong with my eyes, and I watched everything, okay? And I do feel you're the same at times, Pat. You would watch everything that goes on round about, okay? I want to say as well, I want to again come to the head area here, and I want to say as well, when I come to the head area, I'm keeping an eye on my head because I'm having sleepless nights, as most do when we get older, or younger, should I say. But I do want to say as well, I've got sleepless nights, but I do, would you understand, again, I'm going to go to the man in spirit world here, okay? Dad-in-law, I do know I have that link over there. Okay, now when I look at this, would you understand as well, you would have taught people at one point, whether it be worldly wisdom, when I look at knowledge, and you would have been able to tell stories back in the day to people, and we still do to this day. Because I feel quite, when I'm looking at this, again, when I'm pulling into your energy, I do feel it's like people need to have manners nowadays. Would that make sense? Because I feel at the moment you're a bit despondent with the world when I look at the sparks in this card. And again, that brings me down to my feet, and I feel despondent. I'm looking at the heavy shoulders, and that's someone ready for me, someone ready for battle. But also when we put our battle gear on, battle gear would make you feel heavy, especially around about the shoulders, okay? And it's like, I'm feeling quite despondent by how people react in the world at the moment. Would any of that make sense, Pat? If you can just give me yay, nay, thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay. I do want to say as well, when I'm reading this book, now the Bible comes in very prominently around about this Bible for me. So no religion would have played a part in the family at one point. Okay, you still with me, Pat? And also when I look at the cards as well, I've got the number 5 and 7 now. I'm going to put them together as a number 12. Now that would take me to the month of February. So February, thank you, Pat. Thank you so much. And I want to say the month of February would be very, very prominent round about your life as well, okay? I do want to say as well, I come to February, but I also come to the month of January. I do know there would be a passing in February, but I've also got a birthday in the month of February, okay? Because I've got the 2 here as well. And I also know as well we have a twin link somewhere within the family, okay? I do go up through the generation because I go to mum's side of the family. I do know also, coming to what I want to say, January, okay? Thank you so much, okay? And I do want to say as well that January would come through, and January would be, I feel I'm going around about the 10th of January here. And I do know there's going to be someone's birthday around about there. I also want to say as well that December's quite a hard month for you, Pat. Thank you so much. Because I feel there was passings round about there, and we're still acknowledging that in the month of December. Because I do hear the name Jean comes in round about you. I'm not saying Jean would be passed over, but I know the name Jean. It's someone I was talking today, and I've just seen her face very clearly in my face. Now, when I do look at the cards again, now it's quite interesting. Thanks, Pat. I do look at that card, and when I look, if you look below the angel where he's sitting, that looks actually, thank you very much, and happy birthday in January when it comes up to you. Okay, I do want to say now that actually looks like a cat to me. So I want to say as well, what I'm looking at is funny. We're driving on the motorway and I'm looking at cat's eyes. Okay, so I know there's a travel coming up, or there's been a travel, and I want to say we had to travel for someone passing over. Would that make sense? I don't feel I've done it on the motorway, but I know we weren't all there for the passing. Okay, my darling, I do have the name James links in because I've just seen the name James on that card as well. And I'll go down to the right hand side of the card because I can see the initial J. All right, Pat. Now, I do want to say as well, now I'm going to come back to you now, and I want to say, yes, you are disappointed with what's going on at the moment in life, but what I want to say is that's their journey, that's their issue. All you can do is live yours, and as long as you live your life knowing how you're living it, people will watch and learn, believe it or not. You may think they're not, but children and adults can only learn from others. All right, and it is hard to not be so despondent with people, but it's like, let's just keep going. Okay, I do know as well, very popular name. I have John over in Spirit World, and I do know the name Andrew would link in as well. I do look at, like I say, when I look at the man sitting with the knowledge, I do want you to keep telling your stories, Pat. And I do want to look at, it's funny enough, I've just got a cigarette there because I've just seen good old Pat. It was EastEnders, and I've seen the big earrings there. So I do want to say as well, someone would have smoked round about, but I want to lift the smoke, I want to drop the smoke. Okay, so that would be choice because no one can tell you what to do in life, and it's always everyone's choice what they do. Okay, so quickly before I leave you, I do also want to say, right, okay, I'm so sorry to hear that, Pat, and that is must be soul destroying living with that, okay, because that's one of the hardest things to get through in life. But I do know as well, when I have him quickly coming through here, he was quite an intelligent son, okay, my darling. And I do know as well, again, I'm smoking, I'm not smoking here. I do know as well, okay, now you can say someone's name not in a church environment and they would come through, but not in a church, it would be classed as calling up the dead, as we say. However, in experimental purposes, it does happen, okay? But I do know as well, I feel I'm in my 20s here, maybe even that slightly younger, okay? I do know as well that, do you know what, everything happens so fast, and it's something we never ever go over. I do know this is where you tell your cultural stories, and I do know this is where you try and help others. All right, my darling, and it's keep going and keep telling those stories because you are always helping someone else, as much as how hard it is for you and it breaks your heart, but you will always go on helping others. All right, my darling. And I do hear the song Islands in the Stream because I look at the streams round about here. And I do look at, when I come back to the book, I do know you go through pictures every day. Okay, Pat? But you keep going with that inner strength because you do have that inner strength. All right, my darling, life is hard. Keep looking at the photographs and you keep going. And he's in the arms of the angels now. Okay, my sweetheart, and you take the love. Okay, darling, you keep pushing forward. Thank you so much. Now, Richard, can I have another number, Richard, when I go to the next person? Thank you. And can I have number 36? Hello, Martin. Hello, Martine MV. How are you this evening? Right, if you just give me a moment, I've lost my earphone sound. Okay, so you have 62. Thank you so much. Okay, that would be the power card. Thank you so much, Rich. Oh, mother card, sorry, my mistake. Okay. Now, when I look at this card, Martine, and funny enough, I look at your name, the love hearts you have on the screen. I want to say, when I look at this card, you would be quite a powerful woman, because that card straight away, when I have the mother, mothers always make me feel a powerful ladies, okay? So I know you have that power in you. I do know as well, I have that slight alpha female in you, but there's nothing wrong with being alpha female, because sometimes we have to take control. And I look back at, when I look at this card, I'm looking at stoicism, so there's nothing wrong with that. I do want to say as well, okay, from a mother point of view, I feel as if when you are quite a powerful lady, you know how to deal with people, you know how to structure people. Would that make sense? And I do know as well, when I look at the lady's hair, the beautiful lady's hair, her hair is covering her child, okay, but the hair's still a bit wavy. So it's I'm getting to that part. Am I not sure if I'm doing the right thing? Yes, you are. Okay, my darling. Now, we will always question what we're doing in our heads, because we're only human. Okay, but there is some slight waves to come over, but you will get there, okay? Day by day, because I want to sing the song, and I'm hearing the song in my head, One Day at a Time, Sweet Jesus, okay, by Elena Martel. All right. Now, I know as well, I do have, okay, I do know I've got grandmother over in spirit world that comes in round about, because I've got the really white light comes in round about. Now, everyone will tell you I'm not an airy fairy medium. However, I know this lady would have lit up the world. I feel she was a lady, again, that was full of support. And I want to say as well, when I have this lady, nobody could tell me what to do. Okay, Martine. I do know as well, when I look at the child's arms here, the child is grasping on, so it's like I would have grasped on as well, okay? So I know this lady put on a fight towards the end of her life, all right, darling? And I know as well, when I have her coming through, she didn't want everyone to know she was not well, okay? But she put on that fight towards the end of her life, okay? I do want to say it's quite bittersweet here, because when I look at your grandmother and chat to your grandmother, when I look at the baby, I know a baby came into the world roughly the same time when grandmother was leaving, okay? I'm not saying exactly the same time, but I'm going a month to either side here. I do want to say as well, I do see the name Kathy coming up, okay? And I do want to say, it's funny, I've just seen the name Kyle, okay? And I feel Kyle would be living somewhere. I do want to say as well, when I look at the mother here holding the child's bottom, okay, as a mother does supporting, thank you, Martine. When a mother, that's support, because it's supporting her child from the bottom up, and that's the support you're looking at the moment, because you want to be supported from the bottom up in your life, okay? And we're looking at, where do I put foundations in place? Would that make sense, my darling? And you're looking at starting put foundations in place in your life again. All right. I do know as well, when I look at this now, when I've got one part of the angel's wings, we've got all the beautiful, goodness, Richard, what's the name when I'm looking at the beautiful? Is it sculpture, feathers? The other side's just plain silk. And I want to say silk here. And I want to say as well, when I look at that plain silk, I'm multicultural here, if this would make sense, because I've just seen the beautiful silks of India, of Pakistan, over in Taiwan, Thailand. So I would say you're quite multicultural as well. And you're one of these, thank you so much, Martine. And you're one of these ladies as well that would say, there but for the grace of God. Okay, my darling, I know your family would say that too. And again, you will welcome anyone with open arms. But I do want to say you are stabilising more. And that's more putting more foundations in place when it comes to business, believe it or not. Because I know when you've just said about your angels, but I feel you're looking at business opportunities, but you're mothering people in the business world, if that would make sense. And I want to say we're looking at the mentor scenario. Okay, I'm not sure if you do mentor at the moment, but I do know where you are looking at that. Okay, and that's an opening for you, but I want to take a different opening, if that would make sense. I want to put it 3 different opportunities, because I've got 1, 2, 3 when I look at the lady here. Because believe it or not, the mother, it's not just the mother and child, we've got grandmother there as well, so that would give me 3 different business opportunities. The 6 and 8, I want to say as well, I go to, it's funny enough, I go straight to the month of June. Okay, so I know I've got some sort of wedding anniversary in June and a birthday in June as well. I do know as well I'm looking at February for a birthday, but I'm also going right and round about the month of February here. Okay, the 6th of February would be someone's birthday, 6th to 8th of February. Ah, right. Thank you very much for validating that. So you're learning regularly new. Yes, mother, and so me. Okay, but I do want to put that in a business level now, if that would make sense to you, because there's enough room in this world for everyone, Martine. And I feel there's been times you're frustrated, but I want to say as well, when I look at one wing here is fully sculpted, the other one is silk, what is beautiful, but it's not fully sculpted yet. And that's where I want to say you start putting your own sculpt and foundations in place. You do you. Okay, my darling. You put everything in place and you then start working for you. Don't let empty hold you back. Stop thinking what others think. There's a difference between reputation and character, and it's character that's the main thing. And you have got a beautiful character. You mother people, take it on the next level now. Okay, my darling. So you know that grandmother's with you and the spirit world with you, and you take those leaps of faith now. Okay, Richard, now, if you give me 2 minutes now, I'm going to explain a bit about how I work as well. Thank you very much, Martine, for explaining that. Right, okay, so thank you, Richard. Okay, so everyone, guys, thanks very much for the opportunity tonight, and I love doing readings. But what I do as well is, yes, I do private readings as well. I love doing private readings because in a private reading we can become more intimate. Now, there's only so much we can say live or we can say in church, a centre, or Zoom. But private readings become that bit more intimate, that we can open up more. Now, I do teach mediums as well. And I love my mentor group. And some of my mentors come out with me. And I always say, put your students out there. Let them be seen when they're ready. Because students should have that opportunity to be able to fly as well. I don't use the word fledglings for my mediums, my students, because it's a label that sticks forever. I understand why it's chosen. It's like well, they're in the nest. They're just growing, they're being nurtured. But then if someone's heard someone's a fledgling, maybe someone else heard it in another part of the country, and they'll always have that label. Okay, so the way you say it is, people are learning, we're developing mediums, they're all getting on, and that's what I love to do, is mentor people. I'll teach you the psychic, I'll teach you the mediumship, but I'll also teach you the theory and what goes on behind the brain. Because believe it or not, there's a lot of science goes on with mediumship. It's not just we do it. So it's a case of when we do see we're linking in, I will let you into a secret. We're not really linking in, okay? It's like we're just buying time. And you'll hear me saying I'm linking in. I'm not linking in, it's just like, oh my goodness, I'm getting ready. That's basically what I mean. I'm getting ready. Put my calling out. Are you there for me? Let's work together. Okay. Now, as well, when we're working together as well, yes, we use parts of the brain, because remember, we're tapping into the spirit world. They tap into us, and no matter what culture you're in, them are communicating with another world. Okay. So they can tap into us, we can tap into them. They use unconscious part of the brain. And for you guys out there that have done philosophy, whether it be Descartes, Hume, when we look at philosophy in life as well, you'd look at Descartes' dualism, Cartesism. Goodness, I think I've said it wrong tonight because my mouth's so dry now, I've spoke that much. But what I do want to say is that's a part of the brain that science can't touch. that philosophers can't touch, nobody can touch, and that's the part we actually work with. Okay, we do not work with the subconscious, because the subconscious is a part of the brain that when it's triggered, that's the bad part of the brain, believe it or not. It's the unconscious and the conscious. And thanks, Terry, the ID, you find that interesting. That was Freud. Then we had Jung that said about the ID. The ID is your identity, which would be your ego. So everyone knows my students. Thanks very much, Natalie. She's one of my students that I've now got out there. She's only been working a year and a half. Is she good to go? Yes, but slowly. Okay. But the ID, the ego, is part of your brain. So when we hear people out there saying, oh, these mediums, that's their ego, they're getting up there. No, they're not. They're confident, guys. And that's where you want to be confident in your mediumship, and that's what I'm all about. So like I say, going back to the philosophy and how the brain works, there's a huge part of that in mediumship, and I'm a strong believer. You have to know the basics before we go ahead and start working anywhere else. If you don't know basics, if you don't know terminology, we hear a lot of out there, and different institutions out there, SNU, SAJB, the Independent Spiritualists, Christian Spiritualists, which we've got Nick, and he's fantastic. So it's like people sit in the power, and I'll hear people saying to me, what is the power? And I within seconds, I'll say, it's your own mind. You're sitting in your own mind, your own energy. When you meditate, you're meditating to clear your mind. That's it. Before we read, we all quieten our mind. And then we go good to go. Okay, guys, so that's a little bit about me. And I don't want to talk too much about me and say it's all about me as much as it is all about me, as my students would tell you. But it's all about you guys as well. So thank you. And Richard, will we do another one, or? Why don't I do another one then before we wrap it? Is that okay? Are you all right? Okay, 'cause I'm not sure time wise what I'm doing. Yeah, let's wing it. Right, okay, let's go for number 29. 29. And just keep me right if I'm speaking too fast with that Scots in me. Hello, Jessica Wynne. How are you this evening? And thank you so much for giving me your number. Oh, sorry about that. Well, okay, sorry about that, Jessica. I've just seen numbers in front of my eyes. I've just assumed. Okay, Jessica, could you give me a number, my darling? And it would be between 36 to 78. Coming down. Give us your number. Bingo. Wakey, wakey. Okay, I know it's Friday night, isn't it? And I think people have had a long week. 61, here goes. Memories. Oh, I love that song, Memories. Do, 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 do. Do you know, everybody I've got Richard singing in my ear, Memories and Memories, and then I'm going do 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 do. Right, Jessica Wynne, my darling. Okay, here goes. Right, Jessica, now this card has memories. However, I'm drawn straight away, and as maybe you are as well when we look at the clock here. Okay, so the clock straight away tells me there has been issues with time, if that would make sense. I know I'm looking at time in my life. Now, I'm going to sit in the psychic, what I call the psychic a moment. The psychic's about you. Mediumship is evidence of someone in spirit, okay? And what I want to say is at the moment you're at that place in time where you're looking at, is time running by? Can I put things in place for time? And it's funny, I want to look at time whereas What can I do for me? Okay, and I feel what I want to say is, I want to say you're filling out forms, you're doing all different things here, and it's like, but what can I do for me? Can I get education in place? Have I run out of time? I want to say, no, you have not run out of time, but I do want to say, on the other hand, contradictory, do not let time go by, because time can become your enemy as well. I do feel as well you would sit and watch time go by, and you take that time out, you watch time go by, and then it's like, where is my time went? So on one hand, you're looking at what you can do with your time. You want to start doing more learning, but on the other hand, you're then not making use of time. Okay, now that is so contradictory. I do love it, but it makes sense, and it'll make sense to you. Okay, now I do love that outfit the angel has on, and I want to say, when I'm looking at that outfit, I want to say you're looking at you at the moment as a person as well. I mean, she's so outgoing. That is a beautiful, beautiful outfit. That takes someone very secure to be able to wear that, okay? And I know at the moment you're a bit insecure, if that would make sense, Jessica, and you're trying to get your strength. Okay, my darling, that makes sense. Thank you. Now, we'll get you back into that space, and that's what life's about, supporting each other, getting back into that space. But when I look at the lady's outfit in that card, again, beautiful face, beautiful, I would say that's red lipstick. I'm wondering if that's a bit of Chanel there. But what I do want to say is, such a beautiful outfit, that takes oomph to wear that, okay, if you're secure in yourself. And that's where I feel you're lost that bit of security and confidence in you, okay? I do want to say, get up in the morning, whether you feel like going out or not, Jessica, put the makeup on, whether you're in PJs or not, just don't go shopping in your PJs, okay? We don't do the faux pas, but what I do, and that's only a joke, what I do want to say is, look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am good, I am good enough, I'm good looking, and do you know what? I don't care what anyone else says, okay? Because I do feel when I'm looking at this card, everything's swirling about. I want to say people have had their opinions of you, okay? And I feel people have been round about with your memories. You're thinking a lot of memories. But yes, there has been people in your group of circles where I want to say you're quite a beautiful looking lady. You have been confident, but suddenly we lost everything. Would that make sense? Okay. I know you're missing a lot of things, but I know you're missing a lot of people. Okay, my darling, but I want to instill that back in you. And I want to say, every day, set a small goal every day. I have a psychology background now, and I want to say, no one else can make us happy but ourselves, okay? So you could look at, and when I look at this card now, the jewellery there, that jewellery I want to say is very expensive, okay? And when I look at the jewellery here, I'm looking at pure diamonds, I'm looking at pure gold. I'm also looking at sapphires here, which would be expensive. So that would bring me to flamboyance, it would bring me to millionaires. But believe it or not, millionaires still have the same issues as we do. We just don't see it the same. The media doesn't portray it the same either, okay? Everyone has those same human issues and emotions. We just don't see them, okay? So you start now. What I want to say as well, you start, you have a choice, you have free will, darling. But I do want to take you to July next year when I look at number 7. And I do want to say, let's start opening those doors for you, because there are doors opening. If you look at the lady and you want to look at the angel, again, look at number 6. So I want to look at 6 for the schools here. Okay, and when I look at the school terms here, that's where I want to say you could be looking at school terms for your own education, whether it's a small thing watching YouTube, you can watch TED Talks, whether it be watching psychic spiritual TV, because there's so many things you can get into the VIP, watch the mediums, you could do that, and you can learn so much, my darling. And then start taking your own power every day. It's about meeting people for you, because I feel very isolated. Right, there you go. So when your mum passed, that makes sense, darling. And this is where you feel very isolated at the moment. And this is why I want to bring you to the different things in the different areas of technology and have you back within people. Now, I want to put Margaret in place, a very popular name in the UK, or Maggie. Okay, and it's funny when I say Maggie, I see Rod Stewart here. So I do know Mum would have liked Rod Stewart at one point, okay, because I'm singing all these songs. And I keep hearing the first cut is the deepest, darling. Okay, and that's where I feel that's where the wound was very deep. Okay, my darling. Well done, and thanks for validating that. So you've learned a lot, and that's actually stopped your isolation. Okay, and that's where you keep going with that and build your strengths. Okay, because believe it or not, people think technology is rubbish. It's actually the best thing. All right. And I've been isolated. It's the equivalent of smoking 15 cigarettes a day, and that is suggested and shown in research papers. Right. So you keep going, my darling, and it's very hard because grief comes in waves. I do know as well when I have your mum here as well. I do know your mum's hair was quite light as well, because I do know I saw your dark hair quickly with your photograph, but I do know I'm looking at auburn, strawberry blondes within the family. I do know you would have helped your mum at one point when she was crossing over, because when I see when when I look at the dress down here, that's where I had to be gentle round about mum, and I had to save mum's dignity at one point. Okay, darling, I do know everyone was not there with you when mum passed, my darling, and I want to say, but your mum comes in giving you that strength. Everything wasn't placed when your mum passed over, darling. Okay, but mum couldn't help that. She tried her best. Okay, but I want to say again, with isolation, your mum's there every step of the way, sweetheart. Mum is there, but know that mum will always come in round about. You will always get the few messages from her, because I feel 3 or 4 times now she's come in. I know they've not been very, very big messages, but she's got in there and she's proud of her girlie. Okay, she shouts in the name Mary and Betty to me, but what I want to say is keep pushing, Jessica. It's hard, and we will all be here for you. Okay, darling. That's what this is about, and that's what this program's about, sweetheart. Okay, you know your mum's with you. Okay, darling, and you take mum's love. Okay, and I know you didn't want to see it at the very end. I know you didn't want to look at it in the memories, but you had to, and it's the best thing you done. Okay, darling, so you take the love, but you also know that everyone's there supporting you. All right, and you're entitled to have a bad day. Okay, you're human. Okay, my darling, so thank you. Thank you, Richard. Thank you. Okay. Ah, right. Okay. Thanks very much, Jennifer, for that. And yeah, and that's what Psychic TV is about as well. Like, all us mediums will come on, psychics come on, and I've sat and watched you guys, and also myself, I'll come on and do readings. This is what it's all about as well. So bear in mind, I do private readings, and I love the one-to-one, the intimacy. I do them over Zoom, I do them over Messenger, videos, WhatsApp, whatever you choose as well, because I love to make it easier for you. Okay, and I also do as well mentorship. There's a free mentorship class I do on a Thursday night via Zoom, but there's also I do a closed mediums group on a Tuesday, and there's a brand new one starting in January for beginners only, and it'll be beginners taking them back to the basics, actually how energy works, how the brain works, and what terminology is, because that's basically what we need to know. We hear so much terminology out there, and it's like, wow, why not bamboozle me much more? All right, darlings. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. And you're welcome, Krish. Oh, Krish, I met you last week. Okay, hi, Krish. Thank you so much. And yeah, just looking at that, I love to as well plug look at all different religions as well, because not one is the main one out there. Okay, we will never ever know till we get to the other side, but as Doris Stokes said, you can't die for the life of you. I will never take that quote as my own. That was good old Doris Stokes. Okay, darlings, so thank you so much, and you're more than welcome to get my Zoom details, even to come into the it's a free Thursday night, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m, and that one is students, but also a lot of sitters come in as well. Okay, and they come in looking for readings, obviously, but then we do experiments as well, and we work with different mediumship. Okay, and then you'll see me on SBTV Live. I'll be in the VIP lounge. That's 37 pence a week. So if you look at, let's say your gas and electric bills, you're about 27 pence a day just for a standing charge with electricity. So I would say it's less than a coffee. A lot of my students are now, they're actually joining the VIP lounge because they love getting in to watch. I tell everyone, get in and watch mediums, what to do, what not to do, but learn. Just learn from different people, learn from different cultures. That's what life's about, darlings. Okay, so thank you for putting up with me tonight. Sorry if I wittered a bit, but I'll get there. So thank you so much. And thank you, Krish. You're welcome. It was an honour to read for you. Thank you. Thank you.